have with me the Labour Party Vice Presidential candidate, Mr. Datti Baba Ahmed. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Pleasure and duty once again.
Yeah. How do you feel? The final 3 days.
I feel energized. More and more political parties, not just key individuals, are coming into our fold, running into our warm embrace, and sharing our lofty ideas for Nigeria. ADC yesterday, the Governor Autumn of the Benue State. These are people who make the difference. Right now, you cannot count 12 states in Nigeria that we cannot command 25% and above. But above all, and gladdens my heart so much that from my first submission of this fact in Lagos, that out of 18 political parties who filed presidential candidates, more or less it is correct to say that 15 have fallen behind. Out of the 3 left, 2 have misconfigured themselves. They have fallen out of alignment with the dictates of winning elections in Nigeria. By that I mean, why today Tinubu is not the vice president of Nigeria is the same reason he cannot be president. What couldn't happen in 2015 when the then candidate Buhari asked for any nomination whatsoever from Tinubu? Because that configuration has passed. It can no longer work in Nigeria.
What kind of configuration are you talking about?
Showing you know. Don't make me say it.
Please do. I mean, what configuration are you talking about? Because
Muslim ticket cannot work anymore. You've made me say it now. I don't like to speak about tribe or religion. Show.
No, I was not clear about it.
That configuration cannot work anymore. And since you made me say it, I must go back a little then. Give me just 3 minutes to tell
Please
you.
Go ahead.
There is issue of faith on this. The creator of heavens and earth does not make mistakes. This is Federal Republic of Nigeria, as duly filed at the United Nations and registered too. It's not the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for example, or the Vatican, or Iran, or Libya, or Mauritania. It's Federal Republic, and God didn't make mistake by putting all of us, 250. You find other countries nearly 100%. One faith, one language, one group. Not the same in Nigeria. 250 at least, and 2 big competing religions. And we say that it's not a mistake from our Creator. Then his verses followed that we must do justice to each other. Then our political history followed afterwards. 79, Obasanjo Shagari, Babangida to Shoneko, Abdul Salam to Obasanjo, Obasanjo to late Malam Umaru, to Jonathan, back to Buhari. This is the 4th DNA of Nigeria. That DNA regulates our body temperature. Without it, our body overheats and we die from that fever. So these 2 political parties have misaligned with the issue of faith and political history of Nigeria. They are simply on the ballot paper. They are not in the ballot box. They are wasting our time. Well, it's good they have the money to spend if they get the new Naira notes. They have kept that money for this rainy day. They have the money to spend, so spend it, but that's all they're doing. There's only one political party that is in place, rightly configured, rightly staffed, rightly equipped, rightly, how can I say, energized and motivated for winning 2023 presidential elections. We didn't engage in violence. We suffered it. We didn't engage in abuses. We suffered it. We said the right things. We talked about issues. We can tell you directly what we'll do with subsidy scam. We can tell you what we'll do with exchange scam. And another thing you will see is that when we win, inshallah, we're not coming after Tinubu and Atiku. We're going after the terrorists and the bandits. We're not going after any politician. We're going after the corrupt officials. And there's a systematic way we'll do it. We'll stop the corruption, make sure that it's not happening in our own, before you go after anybody. Not the other way around like they did this time around and failed in 2015.
And you're not worried about corruption fighting back when that time comes?
I'm not worried because we'll defeat it. When you fail against corruption, it's because you're corrupt. I'm very, very confident about it. There are two reasons. If you collected too much money and you feel indebted to the extent that the appointments, you have to look the other way and appoint all sorts of characters, again, like it happened, I don't have to tell you there. And if you yourself are corrupt and in need of, Peter Obi doesn't need anything else in this world. I'm too modest to say the same, but I can say about him. He belongs to the club that, what else is he going to get in this world anymore?
You mean he's wealthy enough that he doesn't really
He is thankful enough. There's nothing you will point to in this world that he hasn't already had it when he was much younger. And he doesn't need any more. What he needs now is, like I always say, stop the killings in Nigeria. That's what I need to.
So is it because people have enough, that's the reason why they don't steal anymore?
Not everybody. Some people, the more they have, the more they steal.
So that's the reason why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you think Peter Obi, if he wins the election, will not engage in any kind of...
No, that is one of the reasons.
Why you think that he will not?
Because he is content, he is satisfied, he has no need for anything. The second reason is that, of course, his records stand for him. As a governor who served for 8 years, did not borrow a penny, left behind 75 billion naira, and has up till today not collected a penny. So add the fact that he's very content, add his records to it. We will fight corruptions, and any corruption that tries to fight us will be sorry. Because we'll defeat it.
I mean, so
remember,
there are people who are working.
I'm the architect of today's due process. What you have as due process, I started it. So anything procurement, I am deeply, deeply in it. I was never, how can I say, able to join the government functions since 2003 and 4, but the initial law for due process, I was on the technical committee when Obi was heading that unit. We will fight corruption, and any corruption that tries to fight back will defeat because of our history,
what about
our record,
civil service problems?
Yes, we will also defeat it.
Are you looking in the direction of the Steve Oronsaye report?
Yes, but
you will implement it.
Well, not in totality. There's a lot of good in it. We will take what is good. We're coming with this flair for living wages, and we start from the bottom. I have always said this, that our good friend, the police constable on the road, first thing is to eliminate the need for the police constable on the road to collect 20 or 50 naira on the road. We would actually target how much does a decent 9-to-5 working Nigeria need to make a decent living. And then we will walk that way to make sure, even if we don't start from the first month, at least everybody can see logically that in the first 4 years, we're bringing everybody. So your entire family needs are coming from a legitimate source. There is no room for you to calculate corruption in your family budget. That is what we're trying to eliminate. So and in that case, we have all justification. Civil service, military. And then, of course, because we're business people, we'll know how the business, the private sector, will also pay living wages to their employees without inflation.
Do you know, Mr. Datti, do you know what some of your critics are saying about your sort of ideas about how you hope to change this and how you hope to change that. For those who have stayed in government for a long time, they think that there is a bit of naivety in some of your ideas, that the civil service and government does not work exactly the way you are portraying it. And what your opposition have said is you will come into office should you win this election and discover that you are saying something opposite, directly opposite what is possible.
We are very sure. And let me tell you, at the dawn of every great revolution, of every great idea, is an idea or is an action which the people ordinarily would think is a crazy one. I repeat, at the dawn of every breakthrough is a lurking, crazy idea. Peter Obi studied philosophy. I studied economics to the philosophy level. I was behind, I just told you now, what we call due process. Every invention, be it in technology, be it in science, be it in business, at the very beginning of it is something that people will tell you immediately this will never work. When I brought due process in 1999, people told me straight away, forget it, this is Nigeria, it will never work. Government ended up bringing it, the name was contract certification. It ended up coming out as due process. When I get into government, we'll correct it to what it was supposed to be. Now, naivety is never a bad thing, let me tell you. Because we are broad-minded. You take a naive, crazy idea, you sieve it, okay? What is important is that within that naivety, is there at the end of that tunnel the light they are looking for? Then refine your direction, head for your objective, put all your energies until you achieve it. Every major breakthrough in this world started as an unfounded idea, as a fresh idea. So we are used to it. There's something we call inertia. Ordinarily, the lazy human being wants to live today like he lived yesterday. And then the progressive mind is thinking tomorrow must be different from today. So these are two opposite ends of the spectrum. Let me finish. These are two opposite ends of the spectrum. The forward-thinking person must win. Because if he is defeated by the one who wants to live like yesterday, there will be no progress in society. Now, our critics are more than welcome to say these kind of things because they only make us to introspect. We take criticisms in good faith. You tell Peter Obi he's an Hollywood star. He tells you, oh, I have to work with those guys. This is how we behave. And this is how we'll bring about the changes. So therefore, naivety, as far as we're concerned, is a plus on our side. And what they think is naive, as far as we're concerned, is food for thought for us on how to rescue and move Nigeria forward. It is welcome. We want more and more of those criticisms, so long as they are not the kind of insults we'll be receiving. We will take them, okay, transform them into ideas, take what is good and work with it, and what is bad and leave it.
I mean, the pains of Nigerians are real. The sufferings are real. The poverty in the land, this is very real. And I mean, I mentioned a word on Sunday that some people find a bit controversial. And there is a mindset in the heart of a lot of voters who think that they are going to vote in a Messiah. A Messiah is a word used in the Bible sense of someone who will come and take away all your pains magically. And for those of your supporters who think that Peter Obi and Datti are the Messiah to take all their pains away, those expectations need to be managed. And these are the reasons why I'm asking. It's almost impossible to solve Nigeria's economic problem in the first 1 year you get into office. It's almost impossible to resolve all the security problems just when you get into office. It's almost impossible to resolve all of the ethnic and the unity problems that Nigerians are facing. How do you manage these expectations? Because should you be elected president, it's with the same force that Nigerians will be expecting from you. Are you aware of the enormity of the work on the table?
We are aware. When campaigns began, and Middle Belt was endorsing us in Plateau State, in Jos, as I climbed the stage and I saw the sea of people, the entire stadium was filled with human beings. Really, I didn't get excited, I got scared. And I said, this is the number of people we have to make happy. And I whispered to Excellency Obi, do you see these people? He smiled and said, these are the number of people we have to make happy. Again, he smiled. Now, to answer your questions, managing expectation is a science. And the receiver of good governance, I would like to tell you, is a human being. So long as you communicate with a human being that I have taken the right direction, you've already fulfilled. Now, there is, in the entire world, there is no economy or no society that is at 100% happiness or efficiency. None. Now, if you cannot travel at night or even in the daytime on a continental highway between two of the most populous cities, for example, Kano and Kaduna, or Kaduna and Abuja, and in the first 1 month, we do the needfuls, and Nigerian citizens can travel in relative safety. If in the first 100 days we implement in such a way that Nigerian contracts for works, procurements and everything are no longer inflated as they were, and we are technically able to substitute those profits going into privileged few into better salary for hardworking Nigerians. The police constable that I spoke to you about. If we implemented that, Nigerian forces are strong enough, you hurt or you harm our citizen, that day or the next day you will be behind bars, justice will be served on you. That is the direction. We have achieved the better part of it. The rest of it is we continue to refine, sharpen focus, and continue to move forward, of course, with the buy-in of our dear citizens. That is why we think 2023 is indeed a most special thing. The name that came for our supporters, obedience, we'll remind them, dear obedience, you were obedience before we were elected. We expect you to continue to be obedient.
Because the hungry man, as soon as he's expecting the first 6 months, and the food that he is hungry about is not coming, he becomes disobedient. And that is the reason why I'm asking whether or not that realization of the enormity of the work that is on the table is there. Because you said you want to fix the economy. The money is not just there. We have a revenue problem.
The money is there, Seun. Can I tell you? End the subsidy scam. Money is starting to be there. End the FX scam. Money is starting to be there.
Let me finish. Just hold on. Let's take it one after the other.
Enumerating
just
them
hold
to
on,
you.
Mr. Datti.
Okay.
Let's take the subsidy, for example.
Yeah.
You end the subsidy. What it then means that there is a possibility of the hike in the price of the commodity of petrol, for example. That naturally will. That's one thing.
Only one,
and that's a very popular commodity.
Look, you are speaking with economic technicians. How many households have those cars, gas guzzling cars? And then we are working for mass transit, clean energy, even though not in the first 2 years, some form of clean energy to start coming afterwards. Let me finish enumerating to you. For every fears that Nigerians have, at the moment we have our answers. Not just do we have answers, we are the people who speak what we know we will do. We are the people who have done what we have said in the past. We are the ones who have done it. Realizing the enormity, yes. And that is why the office of the President Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria, has so much enormous powers. That is why. I'm telling you where the money is. reshaping the budget, removing those the overinflation element in government procurements and works. That is money. Meeting our OPEC quota, that is money show. Then come and add what Peter Obi has been saying. Nigeria will make a lot more money from agric than we'll be making from oil. Not in the first year, but we'll begin to see the action from about 18 months afterwards. And before the end of 4 years, you will see huge farmlands, and those 20 million children out of school are partly in the farmlands and partly getting their education there on the farmlands. Because we know how to mix and achieve multiple results.
Would you say action. Nigerians should fire you should you not meet their expectation after 4 years?
Absolutely. Please record this show. Record this, all Nigerians that are listening to this. I am not a time waster. Peter Obi is not a time waster. He served 8 years in Anambra State, has left behind the kind of record that governors are not even contemplating to emulate. I have served as a federal legislator in Reps and in Senate, and I have done such special legislations that no one has attempted to do. So yes, we're aware of the enormity. We are committed to doing it, and we'll continue to ask our citizens buy-in into our lofty objectives. And for God's sake, if you are not satisfied after 4 years, do what you feel like.
Like firing you.
Fire us. Who are we?
All right. Let me...
Listen, Sean, we have said it. Now, we are not contesting in our own rights as Obi and Baba Ahmed. Nigerians are contesting through us.
How many of the agents do you have? Do you have agents across all the polling units in the country today?
We do. But please, allow me just to leave it there. This is best answered by our national chairman.
But you are having some problems.
We do. There's nothing in politics that works without problems, especially if that politics is a Nigerian one. This is strictly for our national chairman, and he's handling it very, very well. Let me not interfere.
Are you having funding problems?
No. Because, like you said, expectations. Even before we manage the expectations in government, we managed the expectations of the people who are moving along with us. We are very lean in our operations, very effective. We make sure that equipment, materials arrive just in time, and we dress everything down to on the need basis. It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. It doesn't have to cost a country next 3.5 years' income because you're running an election. Our budget has been the most reasonable I could see.
Where would you say most of your monies have come from?
From personal resources, from supporters, from groups that believe in our cause. And boy, are they many.
So you have support from also well-meaning Nigerians. And I'd like to also know, when you're talking about fighting corruption, should you discover that some of the people who have supported you heavily need some favor, or are people whose hands have been dirty, have stolen public funds, will you look the other way?
It will be very difficult for us to find those people because we have been screening them right from now. We are not greenhorns in Nigerian politics. There are many people whom we have not agreed to meet face to face. We are not in this with strange bedfellows. Like you hear some parties three parties came together and they were formally opposed. Everybody brought resources from. It's not like that. We don't right now have somebody you call a heavy supporter. There are millions of small supporters and there are thousands of MID supporters. Somebody who helps you with what you know maybe is some compromise he made from his personal budget, some sacrifice he can afford to forgo a certain luxury for the sake of Nigeria. We have tens of thousands of such. So I don't see what you are saying happening in the case of Labour Party. Labour Party, like I have said, is that Nigerian party that is for the typical 9-to-5 employee, is for the typical hard earner of legitimate income, businessman, trader, farmer. Labour Party is for the artisan. Labour Party is for the tradesmen and for also big, respectable, well-known, established business people. These are us. Labour Party is not for gatekeepers, it's not for influence peddlers, it's not for money launderers. However, if such people were to approach us as a form of repentance, that God will forgive them and they will not do, we'll be quick to remind them, A, that we only accept clean funds in tune with the provisions of the Electoral Act.
Let's wrap up now.
And when they come back to ask for those favors, we will remind them that they have repented. And by the way, this is how we do business in Nigeria now. There is no more pure subsidy scam. Because you are related to Mr. President doesn't mean you go and get FX at the CBN or some loan that they know you will never repay. You were about to ask me if we think we will win this election.
Do you think so?
With all modesty and sense of the fact that power comes from Almighty God, I know so. I know so because out of the three, two are out of the race. They are on the ballot paper. They are not in the ballot box. There's only one political party left that is in tune with Nigerian political history and Nigerian politics, in fact, and that is Labour Party. You have, well, Peter Obi said, do not vote him because he's Christian or because he's from the Southeast. He said that. And I believe him. I said about the same when I was contesting right
because,
from
let me tell you, the people, Mr. Datti, the people that you even say you are going to beat, you're talking about Atiku and Tinubu, right? And the APC and the PDP.
Yes.
Yeah, you think you will beat them. They even say that you cannot even win your polling unit. Look, not to talk of your ward or Kaduna State.
I like that. Seun, right now is on social media that one day my house was surrounded by DSS. There is nothing that people do not say, Seun. This is what you have to understand.
You have confidence that Kaduna is in the bag for you?
Kaduna is an APC state, but it falls under our category A, which is a simple win. Kaduna is category A in the whole of Northwest.
Which of the states in Nigeria do you think might be difficult for you to win?
Well, Yobe and Farah, of course. Those are two good friends. They are difficult to win.
Lagos, Kano?
By the grace of God, we have won Lagos, irrespective of Tinubu there. I mean, are they going to come out and, do you understand, spread the people who are voting? I was answering your question about winning this election. Seun, it is logical. Many things that have never happened in Nigeria before are happening now with Labour Party. We're the only three party chairman, candidate, vice, born after independence. I'm losing modesty here. He is a correct degree earner, which others cannot show you. I know Kwankwaso says he has a PhD. I don't boast about my PhD or 2 master's degrees. I don't talk about those kind of things.
We have to go now.
Listen,
yeah, we're out of time now.
Okay, just to answer your question.
Yeah.
2023 presidential elections, by the special grace of Almighty Allah who gives power, is as good as won by Labour Party because of the mistakes others have made.
All right. We have to leave it at that. Thank you so much,
yes.
Senator Datti Baba Ahmed. I guess we'll be able to talk to you just after the election. Thank you so much, and I wish you the very best.